Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced plans for a $90 billion mega deal with the US. Zelensky, who was in the US previously for the UN General Assembly and also met President Donald Trump, said he shared with Trump his vision on how to respond to Russia's actions in the ongoing war. He also revealed that Ukraine has put together a list of American weapons worth around $90 billion that it wants to purchase. Ukrainian officials are visiting the US later this month or next to discuss major arms purchases and drone production agreements. In addition to the large arms deal, which we call the mega deal, we also discussed the drone deal. Technical groups are already starting to work on this deal, Zelensky told reporters briefing them on his visit to the US. Ukraine is still largely dependent on weapon support from its Western allies, especially for air defense. President Zelensky said the country has already deployed one patriotic missile defense system recently received from Israel and is expecting 2 more by this autumn. So how much has the US given to Ukraine? The US has spent a total of $130.6 billion between 24 January 2022 and 30th June 2025, according to Kiel Institute. However, the US Department of Defense says that a total of $184.4 billion has been appropriated for Operation Atlantic Resolve, which is America's response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This also includes spending on US military training in Europe. The US by some margin is the largest single donor to Ukraine, but Europe combined has spent more money than the US, according to the Kiel Institute. From January 2022 to June 2025, Europe spent about $165.7 billion on supporting Ukraine compared to $130.6 billion from the US in the same period. This includes not just European Union aid, but also bilateral support from European countries inside and outside the European Union, covering military, financial, and humanitarian assistance. Apart from the US and Europe, the UK is also one of the largest individual state donors to Ukraine. The most recent support came in the form of a $2.8 billion loan agreement signed during President Zelensky's visit to London in March. By the end of July, the UK had committed a total of $29.5 billion to Ukraine, including $17.6 billion in military aid. For Ukraine, strengthening air defense and protecting its cities and people from Russian attacks remains a top priority. In over 3.5 years of war, Ukraine has built its drone industry from the ground up, with hundreds of producers now making millions of drones. But the country still lacks the money needed to expand production on a larger scale. In recent months, Russia has intensified its drone and missile strikes, at times launching hundreds of drones in a single night. In response, Ukraine has been targeting Russian energy and oil facilities with its own drones. President Zelensky hinted that more steps could follow, saying it's pointless to expect Russia to take conciliatory steps towards Ukraine. Accordingly, Ukraine should take appropriate steps towards Russia.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.